Okay, something I had done. I had shot a video going over this book, Amazing Heroes, number 101. And I had said that maybe what I would do is I would go through and read some of the letters from the amazing readers. Hopefully this is okay to do, but the first one I want to definitely read, and it's by Dan Mishkin, and East Lansing. Is it Michigan? Is that Michigan? And it's Mike. It's the title he puts is "Might Makes Right." Now, it says, just a quick note now to avoid embarrassment and hard feelings in the future. I feel obliged to tell you that David Mitchell's silly cover in Amazing Heroes number 97 reproduces exactly an idea that Keith Giffen and I have been talking about doing, a Dark Knight parody featuring Batman. Keith was to have spoken with Dick Giordano last week about doing the book as a stocking stuffer for this December, but I haven't heard from either of them concerning the fruits of their conversation. It may be that Dick will find the idea too silly, or he may think that the page you published captured the essence of the joke as well as 38 pages by Keith and me would. However, he may decide that an official Dark Knight parody, i.e. one that can legally use the characters from the Batman mythos is in an undisguised form, is worth publishing. And I wanted to let you and David Mitchell know that the idea was not stolen from him. Though considering your lead time, I'd have to give him credit for coming up with the idea before I did. But I did come up with it all by my noodle-headed self. There are, after all, only a limited number of likely permutations for would-be parodists to discover, and the sad fact for Dave is that I'm in a position to exploit the idea in a much more visible and probably better paying format than he. Believe me, before I made my first professional sale, I had plenty of experience in his shoes, watching others make money off my ideas because they were in the position to market them. In fact, the problem has persisted for me. I did a 5-pager about a video game champ saving an alien world for Weird War Tales 2 or 3 years before the last Starfighter came out. I'd be grateful if you would convey this information to Dave or send me his address so that I can write him personally. Meanwhile, keep up the good work on Amazing Heroes and continue to thanks for the complimentary copies. All right, so I'm not going to read every one because that would take too long, but there's a couple in here that I definitely want to get to. This one is written by a gentleman named Timothy Michaels and it's from Somewhere Hidden. It says, offended by Kirby remarks. Mr. Smay, I found your comments to the letters of Paul Groman and David PT in Amazing Heroes number 98 offensive and out of line. In particular, the comments, somebody of your status, and who are you? Since when does an editor take such superior attitude to his readers? These men were simply stating their views and did deserve being insulted because they have taken a different opinion on the Kirby situation. Do these and other readers have any less right to their opinions simply because they are not comics professionals? I am not a pro basketball star, yet I know when I see a lousy player. Perhaps you need to be reminded that without people of your status to read Amazing Heroes, you would be out of a job. I doubt seriously that there are enough pros reading to keep AH afloat. Now, if I may be permitted to give my view on the Jack Kirby case. Yes, Jack should get his art back. No, he should not be forced to sign a different release. I agree wholeheartedly with you on these points. My only reservations are with the contention that Jack has been cheated by Marvel. Certainly, Kirby created or co-created the bulk of the Marvel Universe, yet was he not paid for the work that he did 20 to 25 years ago? Now, much longer ago. I believe that he was. Who knew 25 years ago that Marvel's characters would revolutionize comic books as they have? Surely not Jack. In fact, if truth be told, few thought those strange new heroes had a chance to sell. Stan Lee himself will relate how he literally had to sneak the first Spider-Man story into Amazing Fantasy 15 because his publisher never thought readers would relate to a superhero who has problems just like everyone else. I wonder what was going through Jack's mind back then. I would guess that he was just happy to be getting so much work, even if it might not last very long. It would be a kind gesture if Marvel gave Jack something as a thanks for all he did for them, but they are in the business to make money, and businesses seldom give something away for nothing. If you truly want an issue to persuade about, why not do an editorial on all those who are pledging their support for Jack Kirby only to use his predicament for their personal gain? For example, at a recent comic book show in my area, a loudmouth from a small press company was decrying Marvel's books. "Hit them in the pocketbook," he cried. Yet, almost in the same breath, he said, "Since you won't be buying any Marvel books, let me show you some of our new books." This is truly a shame. It couldn't be that Fantagraphics has the same idea, could it? And this was Mr. Smay's reply. Said, "Listen, pal, this is my Don Johnson imitation. Don't pull comments out of context and make your case. Somebody of your status line came after Paul Groman had accused Jack Kirby of taking kickbacks. Let's look at my comment in context. I said, you're slandering somebody who certainly doesn't deserve to be judged by somebody of your status. Clearly, I'm saying that he's in no position to judge, accuse, or insult Jack Kirby. The comment has nothing to do with Mr. Grauman's status in relation to me. I'm really not that big of an ass. Responding to Mr. Petet's letter, I said, who are you to give a lecture on knowing both sides of the story when you don't know anything about the issues involved? Now it seems obvious to me that I wasn't disputing his right to an opinion, just his right to being ignorant, arrogant, and ill-mannered. Oh boy. Sometimes I find it just a little hard to smile and explain when one of our readers doesn't have his facts straight. To be honest, I thought I was remarkably restrained under the circumstance. Oh, this is some gold in these Herald books. I don't know. I want to read at least one more. This one I think I'm going to go, and I will probably end with this one. So this is from George O'Leary from Ontario, Canada, and he titles it, Archie Isn't Going to Be There. Dear editor, I just picked up preview number 3, summer 1986, and was most happy to see the addition of Where Are They Now? As a suggestion for future issues. How about a separate page listing official cancellations? An obituary column, if you will. For example, I never did see any sort of notice from Continuity, regarding the termination of the Zero Patrol, or from Renegade concerning the cancellation of Manimal. And one title missing from your previews was Next Man, which I understand was picked up by David Singer. A final observation, you state that the object is to preview each and every comic book title scheduled to appear during the following 6 months, and that over a dozen writers are dispatched to get in touch with the creators of every book. I find it hard to believe the absence of every Archie title is an oversight. Not only do you not include any of their books, but their address does not appear on page 148 of the preview. This is the company which is second in seniority only to DC and third in overall sales behind Marvel and DC. Was their absence as a result of lack of response from the place in New York that I can't pronounce? It wouldn't surprise me, mind you, given Archie's Enterprises' apparent indifference to the fans at large, given the Archie Enterprises' apparent indifference to the fans at large. Their attitude seems to be, just keep pumping it out, and as long as we're third, we're happy. And the reply, and it says, Actually, as I gather it, the real reason we don't preview Archie at Riverdale High is because we can't easily judge readers' thresholds for squibs like this one. In issue number 336, Archie inadvertently asked both Betty and Moose to the sock hop. In the backup story, Jughead goes in search of a malt. All right. I just wanted to share that. There was wild little things. There's a couple of other ones in here, but I think that's probably good. Let's see how much time I got left. Yeah, no, I think I'm good with that. So I just wanted to share some of those letters. It's interesting because I think a lot of what would be in those letters, boy, would you not get away with saying some of that in the letter column today. And I just want to show the contents again. Oh, God, I can't do this. I can't do this. Okay, so there's the contents of this issue. You know what? No, let's just hold it back here. So again, Amazing Heroes number 101. And if people want more, some more little tidbits from this, that's fine. I might do it, but I'm going to do an overview of one of the other issues I have. I haven't really looked at yet, but I wanted to read some of the letters out of that. Okay, so just sharing, seeing what people want to hear and what they don't want to hear. And I'm shooting this Friday, the 11th. Is it the 11th? The 11th of April? But it probably won't go up until next Wednesday. All right, thanks. Bye.